Oh, here we go. Job. One day, the members of the heavenly court came to present themselves before the Lord, and the accuser, Satan, came with them. "Where have you come from?" the Lord asked Satan. Satan answered the Lord, "I have been patrolling the earth, watching everything that's going on." Then the Lord asked Satan, "Have you noticed my servant Job? He is the finest man in all the earth. He is blameless, a man of complete integrity. He fears God and stays away from evil." Satan replied to the Lord, "Yes, but Job has good reason to fear God. You have always put a wall of protection around him and his home and his property. You have made him prosper in everything he does. Look how rich he is. But reach out and take away everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face." "All right, you may test him," the Lord said to Satan. "Do whatever you want with him, everything he possesses, but don't harm him physically." So Satan left the Lord's presence. I'm going to tell you the story of Job Beaver, the man that God tormented on a bet. So Job was a man, wealthy man, abundant resources. He had a family of 10 kids, a wife, lots of land, lots of livestock, some servants. And I guess he was blameless and upright, so like sinless, a good man, always blessing God in his prayers. One day, Satan appeared in heaven, just chilling with God, I guess. And God was bragging about Job and how blameless he is. So Satan said that he's only blameless, he's only good because God's blessed him so much. And that if he was given the chance to punish Job, Job would turn around and curse God. So God took that bet and gave Satan permission to torture him. He just couldn't kill him. That was the only rule. One day when Job's sons and daughters were feasting at the oldest brother's house, a messenger arrived at Job's home with this news. "Your oxen were plowing, with the donkeys feeding beside them. When the Sabians raided us, they stole all the animals and killed all the farmhands. I'm the only one who escaped to tell you." While he was still speaking, another messenger arrived with this news. "The fire of God has fallen from heaven and burned upon your sheep and all the shepherds. I am the only one who escaped to tell you." While he was speaking, a third messenger arrived with this news. 3 bands of Chaldean raiders have stolen your camels and killed all your servants. I am the only one who escaped to tell you." There's a pattern here. While he was still speaking, another messenger arrived with this news. "Your sons and daughters were feasting in their oldest brother's home. Suddenly a powerful wind swept in from the wilderness and hit the house on all sides. The house collapsed and all the children are dead. I am the only one who escaped to tell you." Job stood up and tore off his robe in grief. Then he shaved his head and fell to the ground to worship. He said, "I came naked from my mother's womb, and I will be naked when I leave. The Lord gave me what I had, and the Lord taken it away. Praise the name of the Lord." And all this, Job did not sin by blaming God. So in one day, Job received 4 different news that all 10 of his kids died. In one day, all of his servants died. All of his livestock died. So he lost everything. He shaved his head, tore off his clothes, had a breakdown, but he still blessed God in his prayers. So God said to Satan, "I'll give you another chance to ruin this man's life even more." So all that happened this time was that he was like struck with a horrible skin sores, like outbreak everywhere. His wife, a very encouraging wife, encouraged him to turn around, curse God, give up, and die. That was her advice. He didn't do that. He just kind of went into mourning in a depressive episode. And his 3 best buddies came over and out of respect sat in silence for his mourning. They sat in silence for 7 days. On the 7th day, Job finally said something. And he basically went on like a poetic, depressive speech about how he wished he was born in darkness and that light just intensifies his misery and that he just wants to die, kind of. And his friends were like, kind of victim blamed him and triggered him, and they're like, "Maybe you did something bad. This is why God is treating you this way. You're being punished for something you did." And then God came down. He came down and was like, "You guys don't know what you're talking about. You're all wrong," to his friends. And then turned around and told Job. He bragged about making monsters, like 2 big monsters in the Bible. He bragged about, like, I created that, and then said, "You don't know anything. Like, I'm all knowing, and this is how little you know about, like, my whole grand scheme of things," which is just a bet. And then gave him his health back, gave him new kids, gave him a long life, gave him more land, and that's basically the end. And people look up to that story and really love that story. That's like one of the great stories in the Bible, because it's just like they admire Job's faithfulness. They're like, that's a story of loyalty and faithfulness. But it's basically just a bet that God made. He that believeth on the Son hath everlasting life, and he that believeth not the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of God abideth on him. God has a lot of wrath. That's the moral of this story.